Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to T's Time. I'm TJ. Thank you for tuning in. I do appreciate it. Today we have a quick one. These are the oil results back from Blackstone Laboratories. When I previously did the oil change, I purchased the van here. I sent the oil sample out to be analyzed just to kind of see the condition of like the motor and try to see if there's like any bearing wear, any metal in the oil, or even if I could have longer oil change intervals. So I sent that in. It took probably like a good, probably 3 weeks for me to get the results back. But the results are here in a manila envelope, kind of Maury style. But like when you do send it in, they'll send you an email when it's finished. So I printed off the emails just so I could keep for like my records to keep with the van. But like it does give you comments when you do send it in. So you can request like, can I have like longer oil change intervals, or even like the engine wear, like the aluminum and like the steel and stuff that's found in the oil. That would be a good indicator, like for bearing wear, like your rod bearings and stuff, like you need to do a rebuild. So what it says, this sample shows some extra metal, aluminum and potassium could be from a harmless flux compound, but piston bearing wear and coolant are possibilities also. If you do work to the EGR intercooler recently, iron, copper, and silicone may be wear in the sealers. Check for air leaks in case the silicone is from dirt. The TBN is strong. The TBN is your additives, a total base number in relation to oil additives in your oil. So that's strong, and I sent it in at 3,500 miles. It says use again 3,500 miles again to compare. So what it does, they send you a breakdown of like all the numbers, like a universal average, like in comparison to like other people's vehicles, like in the same like range. So it's a 6.7 Cummins ISB. So we have a couple high numbers. The ones that kind of really stand out is the aluminum. That was at 9. A universal average is 4. The iron was at 59. A universal average is 22. That's where you have to worry about like the piston bearing wear and stuff like that. That's where that comes in. And then for copper is at a 4. Universal average is 2. And then we have for our potassium is at 15. That should be, or universal average, doesn't necessarily mean it should be. That's at a 3. Silicone's at 39. That should be, or universal average is at 5. And those are the numbers that we really need to like worry about. But for the silicone, they said that should be probably like an intake leak. So I did have like the intercooler off. That could be from that. And I did find a intake or intercooler piping leak, air leak. So that could be from that. The potassium, the copper, the aluminum. That's when I went through and I did the overhaul. I did the front main seal. I did the oil cooler. So that's all gasket. The oil cooler is actually copper. Yeah, so like most of that stuff is just probably just wearing items like it says. So for a better average, I would need to do the oil change again, probably like another 3,500 miles or so, or probably just do like that for like a good, probably like 3 or 4 oil changes out. And then I'll get a better base number of like the numbers and where they should be. But like all the other numbers look good. There's no water, no antifreeze. So there's no head gasket leak. So that's a plus. That's what I was really looking for also. So antifreeze is at 0, water is at 0. So that's cool. Flash point is high, is where it should be. Fuel is also something that you want to look for, like for like the regen and stuff like that. So for my fuel percentage, it says like the local average should be like less than 2. I'm at less than 0.5. So that's real good. So we don't have like a lot of like dilution of the oil. So like it's still like the flash points and everything are still high. The viscosity is good. So like this is just good to know, especially like you're unfamiliar with the vehicle, just to send in like the oil samples, just so you can kind of get a baseline and it'll give you like a hint and idea of like, hey, maybe I need to start saving for a rebuild or planning to do a rebuild. It's better to do a rebuild than like waiting for like a catastrophe for like the engine to just completely like detonate and destroy itself. So that's what this comes in. Like it's worth the price. It's very small, but like just kind of like the more you know about like the condition of your engine, like whether you could push it more or like if it's weak, like all these numbers seem fine. Like we have those high numbers, but like that probably could just be from like all the work we've done. I've done a lot of work, but I had to do like the the what is it, the radiator, the intercooler came off, so like I could have just not tightened the clamps all the way. And then like just it says for like the gasket materials for like if you did like the EGR stuff like that, like I did have like the oil cooler, I replaced that, and that's copper based, so like that copper number is at a 4. When it says universal average is at 2, so that could just be from that. And then like yeah, just basic wearing items. But like I want to just give you guys like an update because I left kind of hanging on the oil change. I sent in the oil sample, but I wanted to give you like the results. So the results seem good, but I need to keep on going with like the samples, like do a couple more just to get a better average. So I just want to give you an update of what was going on. I'm in the process of doing more van stuff, so like if you're here for that, I got a lot more coming. I'm like in between a lot of things, but like we're just connecting the dots and just waiting for stuff to show up. There are wood shortages, there is inflation going on, so I'm still making it happen, but it's just taking me a little bit longer just waiting on stuff to show up. So I do appreciate you checking me out. Thank you for tuning in, subscribing, liking. I think we're at like 100 some odd subscribers right now, moving up in the world. I do appreciate it. So until next Wednesday, prepare for the worst and hope for the best. Peace, TJ.